people. And we did see last night a closer game than many people thought between Victoria and Denver.
Yeah. So the jam is off. This game has hit the starting button, and straight up lead jammer 54. That is Lady Trample for Victoria.
Darby Dagger is jamming for Angel City and has also completed her initial pass.
Couple of points picked up there for Lady Trample. 3 points exactly, and calls it up. Big smiles all around, big claps. Everyone in the crowd looking pretty happy with that. And I think this is the kind of game we're going to have. A couple of points here and there. Don't think we're going to be seeing those big 20, 30-point jams, but what would I know? I'm just a lowly reader of names.
Now that you said that, we're going to have like a 25-point
Oh, there'll be
jam.
like a 49-point blowout, and I'll be wrong. And everyone will tweet me going, that girl doesn't know anything.
The second they say things, the opposite happens. Jamming now for Victoria, that's Sarah Chambers. Jamming for Angel City, that is West.
But it is Sarah Chambers, lead jammer once more for VRDL. Looking pretty chuffed with this up, just like Lady Trample was a second ago. So 100% success rate for Australia's VRDL.
So reactionary. There is no lag time between.
Seen a very fast pack now.
I was literally just about to say that. We are so in tune with each other.
The energy transfer from
pretty hard for a defense to get together when you're moving at that speed. Usually, VRDL doesn't have a hard time keeping kind of a package together, but I think here they just wanted to get out front, force Angel to the back so that they could get those points and have it called off before the Angel Jammer could catch up, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, always good to get a couple of jams under your belt quite early on, get some points on the scoreboard, and especially if you can freeze the scoreboard for the other team. Angel City, not very often you see them with not any points on the scoreboard, but how long will VRDL be able to keep the 0 score in their clutches?
Jamming now for Angel, that is going to be Pearl Jam. Jamming for VRDL, that is Anna Paviova.
Both jammers really coming up against a fantastic tripod of blockers. Not even a tripod, it's 4-ball. Everyone's on track there except for one blocker for VRDL who's having to sit down. But the 100% success rate for VRDL does continue. And a Paviova taking the jammer and carrying on the 100% success rate.
helmet is versus the traditional soft foam skate helmet is to actually test these in an accredited.
Great hit out at the front of the pack by number 10 by Septual.
This is the S1 Lifer helmet.
Yeah, I think some of the folks at home will be tuning in literally just to see Bisexual's movements today, because she is one
to watch. This is a traditional soft foam skate helmet, which is constructed with soft foam inserts. We're going to put helmets onto this head form that has an accelerometer in it that measures impact energy.
Considering we've only had
the head form is connected to a computer that measures the amount of impact that gets to the head in a simulated impact.
Certainly don't want to be seeing many penalties because they will creep up onto you onto the second half. And just as we said that, we see Anna Paviova, the jammer for VRDL, now in the penalty box, which means Angel City.
And dispersing it out.
Bit of an advantage now, which they're going to want to take advantage of. Advantage your advantages.
We didn't see very many jammer penalties from VRDL last night. I wonder if we're going to see a lot of them today. I feel like that's a strategy that Angel likes to implement, especially against this particular team. And because Anna Paviova was the lead, we are going to see this be a 2-minute jam. So
protect yourself from impact. Skate smart and hard. Stateswear,
definitely.
making contact wear for women since 2014.
I imagine now for both teams. What I think is really exciting as well is you look around the crowd and there are so many teams, so many roller derby players all watching this game. Lots of sets of eyes on this game. People want to see what will be delivered to us today in the shape of Angel City from America and VRDL from Australia.
Skaters,
I think because
lost your
VRDL
mouth
comes
guard,
to this tournament
time for an upgrade,
it makes
hit
it one of those
this.
events that people
Beauty
want to watch
Derby
because
and
it's
not
one of
sure
the
where to
only
start,
times where you'll see those
hit
top
this.
teams play each other.
We are
Gotham's not here
derby
this
owned and
weekend,
operated
but
and can
Denver's
hook you
here
up
this
with
weekend.
skates,
They're
gear,
ranked
and
5th.
honest advice
As of
based
March
on
31st,
your
Angel
skating
City's here this
style
weekend.
and
They're ranked
individual
4th.
needs.
As of March
Visit
31st,
our store in Salem,
Victoria's here
Oregon,
this weekend.
or
They're ranked
online at
1st. Rose is ranked 2nd.
hitthisderbygear.com.
So the only one we're missing
Whether
kind of
you're
in
a
that
new or
top
veteran
5
skater,
is Gotham.
Before you hit the track,
Where are
hit
they?
this.
Did they not get the memo?
They didn't want to fly across the entirety of the country.
What? Some of us came across the whole of the...
from years of love.
Hang on. Where did VRDL come from?
Well, Australia. This is the closest America to Australia, you know.
Oh, okay, cool.
Don't let foot slippage mess with your
Lead Jammer is going to go to Darby Dagger.
And not only does Lead Jammer go to Darby Dagger, only Jammer goes to Darby Dagger. What's a lot of D's for me to say? As we see Burn sitting down in the penalty box. So Angel City with the Jammer advantage, but Darby Dagger does a little bit of a neat fall and calls it up.
So we had 3 in a row from VRDL being lead, and then we had this one from Angel. And then, of course, now we've seen 2 Jammer penalties so far from VRDL, and it's only Jam 4. And like I said, we didn't see very many at all yesterday. So it's interesting to see how this plays out and how Angel is able to maximize these moments where only they can score.
Well, maximize they have, because Angel City are now in the lead, only by 1 point, but 1 point is all you need to win a game. So elite change, so grab your, right, let's see, tinnies if we're in Australia, cup of teas if we're in the UK, and in America, what are you drinking? Slurpees?
Beer.
Beer. Okay, I think beer's an international drink of choice, but it is only, as I said, 4 a.m. in the UK. Put your beers down, you insane lot.
Well, if you're still up from yesterday, then it's fine. Lead Jammer goes to Angel. It took almost that full Jammer penalty to do it. The Jammer is West.
But we see Anaconda, skating with Burn. I believe that must be her family name on the back of her jersey. So she is skating now, jamming for VRDL. But West is coming back round now, hungry for some more points. As I said, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a toe-to-toe, point for point, hit for hit, cup of tea kind of game. If I don't say cup of tea at least 3 times in a game, I don't feel very English.
I feel like cup of tea is something you do when you're very calm, and I'm not very calm.
I don't even like tea because I am not a calm person either.
4 points on the board for West. Going to increase the lead to 10 points for Angel.
Yeah, so Angel on 21, Victoria on 11, but we've still got a long day ahead of us. This is not a done deal either way.
No, this is one of those moments where Angel wants to put as many points on the board where they have control of the game, because VRDL is not one to give points back later. It's much easier to preserve a lead than it is to come out of a deficit, and very few people are ever in a position to defend a lead when they're playing Victoria.
Yep, retention is easier than acquisition. A bit of a business model for you there.
When I say it like that, you feel like I'm talking to an accountant here.
Well, would you trust me with your money?
No, I would not. Although you do have a British accent, that makes everything more trustworthy.
Little does she know, I've got your wallet.
Little do you know, there's no money in it. On the Jammer line now we have Black Lobster from Angels. The first time we've seen Black Lobster this game, up against number 54, that is Lady Trample.
Second time up on the jam line for Lady Trample, but she has been held by a formidable wall of Angel City blockers. That is 507, Rachel Rotten leading the charge there at the back of the pack, but it is in vain for Rachel, so she's going for a sit down in what was the empty penalty box, but she's come to frequent it, and Lady Trample doing one of her signature moves, calmly getting her hips around the last line of defense. Absolutely the face of chill, I think, is the best way to describe the way Lady Trample is going around the blockers here from Angel City. Quick jump there, and she's through once more.
That 5 points is going to put a ding in that lead that Angel accumulated. Going to be 16 now to 25.
Massive apex jump there from Lady Trample. Every pass she does, she's got a little bit more less chilled out. Exciting to watch for sure. She really is an amazing skater to keep your eyes on, as are pretty much everyone on these two teams. And not to forget as well the fantastic bench crew, if you can see who we have on the benches today. Some very famous faces within roller derby, leading the charge in the non-skating capacity.
We got the pack very, very jumbled up and stopped in between turns 1 and 2. Lady Trample able to find a small hole on the apex, get through. It's going to be 5 more points for VRDL.
Yeah, big smile on Lady Trample's face there as she comes back round. VRDL now in the lead with just a couple of points stretching them out. As I said, this game is going to be an absolute nail-biter, so I hope you're in for the long run. Looks like we've had a star pass there to Tui Leon from Angel City. Bit of confusion there as we saw some whistles. I think she thought she was being called off. She even looked over at the bench to check, but no penalties there, which is what we like to see. Oh, and just as I say that, Block Lobster comes for a sit down.
That's going to change the lead again. 20-point jam for Lady Trample. Safe to say that's the largest jam we've seen so far, although we haven't seen a whole lot of roller derby this evening quite yet. But the score is 31 for Victoria, 25 for Angel, so only a 6-point game.
Just enjoying Angel C's bench coach there, Abe drinking, just doing a few laps of the track. Why not? You know, keep your carbs up, keep your cardio up, not your carbs. What am I talking about? Sarah Chambers there jamming for VRDL, but her helmet has come off. So she's called that jam off. I think we might have some of the officials have something to say about that. I think the medics might just give her a quick once over.
I'm not quite sure what happened to her helmet. It looks like it actually broke when it came off. She's picking up the pieces and looking kind of confused or dazed about it. I think we're gonna.
Yeah, got the medics coming over to check on her, which is hopefully just precautionary, because helmets coming off is not a good sign. They should stay on your head, boys and girls.
Luckily, there's plenty of vendors in the building right now, so.
She's got a big smile on her face. Sarah Chambers is about to skate past us now. So going back to the bench, hopefully she can get everything fixed and we can see her back on the jam line in a couple of jams' time. She did call that jam off, though. She was the lead jammer, so we won't be seeing her sitting out for any kind of rules reasoning. So yeah, bit of a weird one, bit of a freak accident, but these things do happen. Stranger things have happened. Stranger things will happen.
Usually you see a wheel or a toe stop, but a helmet is a very hockey moment, I think we had here in roller derby.
It is a hockey helmet.
It is. Maybe that's why those hockey helmets, they just go flying all the time.
Do you know what we haven't seen? Anyone dressed as a banana.
Is that something that's on your bingo card?
It's just on my mind. I want to see like a banana person, banana man, banana woman, I don't mind. Banana person. Just don't have anyone like in a mascot outfit running around. I feel like that's the only thing that's missing, apart from margaritas.
Now I'm hungry for a banana, which is creepy, considering that you want a banana person. No, I want a banana snack.
What about a banana margarita?
Oh, I'm pregnant, but I do want a banana margarita.
I'm sure we could make you a non-alcoholic banana margarita.
I will take a non-alcoholic pina colada, please.
Oh, congratulations, by the way. I did not know. Congratulations. Bringing more roller derby announcers into the world. Good on you.
I don't know if we need to reproduce roller derby announcers, but
I think that they can be like a new announcer. They're not like going to carry on the tradition of anyone in particular. Right, we are absolutely waffling because nothing's happening on the track yet. And as I say that, the whistle goes. Oh, seamless, Cherry, seamless.
Just a reminder, the score is 31 for Victoria and 25 for Angel. It's been pretty tight game. We have the largest jam has been the 20 points by Lady Trample. Other than that, there was a 13-point jam by West from Angel. Large percentages of the points, if you think about it.
Yeah, definitely. And lead jammer once more going to VRDL. I believe that is Anna Pavey-Over. She's back on the jam line now. She's now scoring. I just thought I'd have to wait momentarily.
She had a very strong game last night. I think we're looking to see if she's going to have a very strong game tonight. New on the jammer rotation for VRDL.
Ah, nice. Good insight. My knowledge of VRDL is slightly limited, so it's great to get a little bit more information. I certainly recognise a lot of faces from the Roller Derby World Cup for Team Australia. Both men's and women's, as we have Sassage Rolls on the bench coach duty today. And we've had a star pass over to another one of Australia's players. It is Tui Leon, but for Angel this time. Australian skates, American top.
It's going to be 4 points for VRDL.
Can I just check, because this game looks like it's going to be excited. You're not, like, about to pop, are you?
No.
Okay, because I look like a trained medic, but...
no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Sure?
I'm good to go.
Do you need to get some hot towels or anything?
No, I'm good to go. You're going to be just fine.
Oh, my God. I'm not sure the live stream is ready for that.
I'm a very calm announcer, too. It's going to be okay. We're just going to watch this game. Score's going to go back and forth for a while. There's going to be lots of GIFs on the internet. It's going to be a good night.
But it's absolutely not going to be any childbirth.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, unless the folks at home are about to pop, and then that is your business, not ours.
Jamming for Angel right now, that is number 99, West. And lead jammer for VRDL is, I'm waiting for the number to come
That
around.
is Anaconda, but skating under her family name, Byrne. I assume it's her family name. It sounds quite like a, surname. But she is coming up. Oh, massive, massive hit there from Angel City. Absolutely taking the wind out of Anaconda. But she is not to be deterred, unlike my use of words right now.
That is volcanic smash just all over.
Damn.
Anaconda forcing that call off. Going to be only 3 points for Victoria in that jam. Score now 43 for them, 25 for Angel.
Volcanic smash. What a massive hit there. I bloody loved it.
Smash. I think one of the things that people always comment on about Angel is how tall they all are.
Yeah, they are.
And they're not all tall, but they have their Sequoia line. And then they have
there's a couple of
other skaters that are
there's
more
a couple
my
of pocket
height.
rockets over there for sure. But yeah, they are pretty what's the word that got used about 10 years ago, like glamazons? Yeah, we don't really need to bring that word back. But what word we do want to use is fantastic, as we see Lady Trample back round now for some more points. West for Angel City out of the penalty box, and looking to make her mark on this jam number 10.
It's going to be 4 points in the air for Victoria.
Yeah, Lady Trample racking up the points here as Angel City are racking up the penalties. That's not at all what they're going to want to see. And Lady Trample goes for the apex jump, doesn't quite hit it, so she's got to go back around again, but I've got a feeling that's not going to be a problem for her. And there she goes. Thank you, Lady Trample, for literally helping me segue that beautifully.
14 points so far for Lady Trample on this jam. Remember, the largest scoring jam so far is 20 points by Lady Trample, so she didn't have quite as large of a night last night as we're used to, but it looks like this evening she's going to make a change.
She's going to go large or go home.
She doesn't want to go home because she's already gotten over the jet lag.
Yeah, that is a long way to come. But I'm pretty sure Lady Trample and a lot of the VRDL skaters are pretty well-travelled, well-seasoned. They almost be racking up the air miles and getting their free bag of crisps at the airport when they get there.
5 points scored for Angel, 18 for Victoria. Score now 62 for them and 30 for Angel.
Having a quick look at the penalties now. We obviously have some penalty information in front of us, as well as the penalty box, which is right in front of us. No one in the danger zone just yet, which is good to see, as this game is so early on. But we do see, as a collective, Angel City have scored a fair few more penalties than Victoria, and this is going to hit them on later on in the game.
Lead jammer there goes to Sarah Chambers.
Helmet firmly attached to her head, which is what we want to see. Doesn't look like that little problem that we had in the last jam that she was on is having any effect onto this jam. And she's doing her trademark power through the front of the Angel City skaters. And looking pretty happy with it, I must say so.
Angel City jammer is able to break through. That's Darby Dagger.
High block there given to Lauren Foote, and she was the last line of defense at the front of the pack, which means Angel City denied a point. Looks like their jammer is trying to signal that she should have 1 point.
But jammer is saying no.
Correct me if I'm wrong. To get the point in the box, you needed to have scored at least 1 point on the track.
Yes.
Oh, Cherry, well done. Remember this moment.
Yes, so you need to pass 1 on the track to get the 1 in the box. It looks like the refs have decided that she did not pass the hips of that blocker in the back that she thought she had, so she didn't score the points. 2 points were scored by Victoria.
Ari Hell jamming now for Victoria, but she is coming up against quite a strong wall of VRDL at the front of the pack. absolutely going hammer and tongs. That is a really weird English expression, at the front of the pack. I don't know what it means.
I don't know what that means, but that was a really, really awesome blocking there. This is the first time we've seen Ari Hell jamming tonight, going to pick up 4 points.
But the jam
for
has been,
Angel.
sorry, my apologies for interrupting you there. Just seeing that the jam has been called off for a little bit of injury to the one of the VRDL skaters. That is Laurie Evans.
She's gone up on her own accord and gone back to her bench, but looks to be feeling a little bit of pain.
Yeah, Laurie Evans is a pretty tough cookie, so to see her go down and not get instantly up again does mean, I'm sure she's fine. She looks okay. She's certainly on the bench right now, so maybe it's just a bit of a, you only get hit right in that bit of your nose and it makes you go a bit sneezy and a little bit daunty, so I'm hoping that that's what's happened.
Yeah, there's medics and bench staff over at the bench now, checking up on her. Looks like everything's okay. Medics are walking away, so we're going to get back to the game.
But Laurie Evans did have the jam called off for her, so she will be sitting out for 3 jams minimum. Sarah Chambers decides to join us on the jam line along with Pearl Jam. Lovely tripod start there for Angel. Sarah Chambers blasting her way through, but she's hit out just at the last minute by Death Down Under. Good skate name, that is.
Good
look at that
here
rugby scrum at the front of the pack there. Australia, very good at rugby. USA, probably not so much. So I think that the roller derby teams are doing it better. I'd just like to assume that all teams, if they're good at one sport, they'll be good at another. But it's definitely not the case across the globe.
I don't know. Could we all play rugby? I don't know if we could all play rugby. I feel like there's not enough padding in rugby.
I feel like at the moment you probably shouldn't play rugby.
Well, no, I should not play rugby.
But, in a few months' time, let's give it a go.
We're almost a minute into this jam. We still don't have a lead jammer.
Oh,
and just
there
as I
you
say
go.
that, there's Sarah Chambers' lead for VRDL.
She's so obedient. But Rachel Rotten does come a cropper, and she's having to sit down in the penalty box as Sarah Chambers whips herself around the outside. Oh, but there are skaters falling all over the shop. Again, with the weird English expressions, what does that even mean?
I don't know. You rarely see Sarah Chambers struggling.
Yeah, that is.
This Angel blocking core is able to give her such a workout that she calls that jam off. So she is held to 5 points.
What I think is quite interesting is where you see international teammates going against each other. And so there you saw Sarah Chambers coming up against Chewy Leon, obviously both skate for Australia together. Do you think sometimes it's better or worse because you think, I know what this girl can do, so I'm going to call this off because I don't want to be at the receiving end of this?
I don't know. I think when you're at this level of skating, you know what your body can do, and you look at that blocking core in the front, and you're like, you know what? The time is going to take me to get through there. That other jammer might get through, so I'm not going to score those points in that time anyway.
So I'll conserve my energy, conserve my positivity, I suppose. I couldn't even think of that word. I'm such a negative soul.
Anna Kant, her lead for Victoria Roller Derby.
Angel City's jammer there almost couldn't see her because she was stuck behind a wall of very tall VRDL skaters. And everybody's recycling back around.
Angel City hoping that this recycle is going to break apart VRDL's strong tripod, and it does for a little bit. At least it helps spread everything out. That's going to be Darby Dagger now only up against 2 VRDL blockers, which is better than 4, which is better than 3.
Yeah, but look at the 2 blockers that she's up against. That's like being against a whole bus full of blockers. We're just going to take a sec to enjoy the blocking here because this is absolutely beautiful. I always say this when I am announcing at High Level Roller Derby. This is the kind of games that you want to be watching with your league, with maybe some of your newer skaters, with your teammates, and picking up some pointers because flipping heck, it's good.
Yeah, when you looked at that last jam too, you had Darby Dagger having to fight past each individual VRDL blocker one at a time. And after getting through all of that, all it got her was the jam called off. It wasn't even for points, right? It was just to stop VRDL from scoring points. So that's a good way to tire out the other team and try and
make them feel sad. I would certainly be feeling sad. Sarah Chambers back up on the jam line once more. She is a keen bean, jumping around at the back of the pack, but I believe that's our friend Volcanic Smash, absolutely grinding her hips into Sarah Chambers, not giving her an inch. I've said it once, I'll say it 4,000 times. This tripodial way of blocking certainly is a favourite of mine.
Yeah, and if you look, VRDL seems to always use a 4-player amoeba or pod. Right?
Amoeba?
They don't. I don't know. It's not a tripod. There's 4.
Love it.
And also it moves around and is able to kind of do that zone defense. And because they use all 4, they don't have that offensive blocker helping out their jammer, and often they don't need it. Whereas when you look at someone like Denver yesterday or Angel today, or often you having an offensive blocker, although it looks like Angel, no, they still have their offensive blocker right now. It's 255. Red Raven is doing that, although acting as the bridge at the moment.
Yeah, it is very rare now you see 4 blockers all together. Sometimes it's actually like too many people, too many arms and legs in the way. And most teams are favouring that tripod with the spare player. What are they up to? Bridging and offence, defence, doing all sorts of things. I nearly said the code word that we use at home.
No, don't do that.
I can't do it, though, so I'll get in trouble. It's all I can think of now. I need to get it out of my mind. I'm going to say it in a second as well. I'm going to subliminally say it, so only about a few people will know.
It's been a minute and a half, I want you all to know. It's been a minute and a half. We're still in turn 2.
Have you noticed that the more we waffle, the less jammers happen? Lead jammers are not happening while we are waffling, so let's be silent. No, I didn't work.
It's not helping. This is some of the best defense we've seen definitely this weekend and maybe this year.
I am personally yet to see a no lead jammer jam, and I'm not going to either because Sarah Chambers with 3 seconds to go.
Yeah, she just called that off. You know what? Not even a try with the 3 seconds. Took her a minute and 57 seconds to get lead.
She waited for that bus for a minute and 56 seconds, sorry. 57 seconds, Terry.
57 seconds, a minute and 57 seconds. I have seen a jam where there's been no lead because I was there for the jam that wasn't at ECDX, and I think it was 2011.
Tell us about it.
They never released the jammers because they just stayed in between. It was Philly and Gotham, and they stayed in between the pivot and the jammer line for a minute.
That has got to be pretty soul-destroying for the jammers, but absolutely energetically amazing for the blockers. And talking about amazing, here's Lady Trample once more for VRDL coming around the track. And we see 150, which is, 5150 Derby Dagger jamming for Angel City.
You see the difference here. That last jam, Angel was able to shut down that VRDL jammer, but here, because they have, for a second, they only had 1 blocker on the track. Now they've only got 2 blockers on the track, about to have 3. They just aren't as effective by themselves. They need to be together.
I think watching this game, you're going to have every single roller derby coach or captain literally watching this going, look, you need blockers on the track. It's not a miracle. It's not some crazy jamming. It's just a fact.
You also need jammers on the track. Lady Trample is sitting in the penalty box. Right now, this is going to be a power jam for Angel. This is the 3rd power jam, I think, for Angel.
First time we've seen Lady Trample sitting down in the penalty box, but it's all right. You're allowed a couple. I mean,
hopefully not with the stars on your head, though.
Yeah. Fantastic blocking here from VRDL.
Because Lady Trample was lead, that means the Derby Dagger has just got to fight this out till the end of the 2 minutes. There's still 30 seconds left. Lady Trample's out of the penalty box and headed back towards the pack. Remember, scoring eligible. But all of Angel's blockers are now on the track, so they're there to stop her.
Yeah, a little bit of a penalty box switcheroo now. We've got Sage King for VRDL sat down in the box. Angel City now being able to recreate that fantastic tripod of number 2, Juana Tees, a Volcanic Smash, and Rachel Rotten. Literally all of the blockers you do not want to come up against when you're trying to jam your socks off.
It's going to be 15 points for Lady Trample and VRDL, 8 points for Angel.
Victoria have stretched out that lead quite a bit now. Still not seeing a century being hit, but that's because these have been some low-scoring jams.
We've got 93 for Victoria and 42 for Angel.
What's the time on the clock? Because I can't see it from here.
The time on the clock is 3 minutes and 57 seconds.
All right, cool. So we may well see Victoria getting to that 100. We may well see Angel get to 50. And we may well see another jam where nobody gets nothing.
Lead there goes to VRDL. That's Anna Piviova.
Giving the nod to Sausage Rolls out the side of the track, telling them to carry on, keep on trucking. Beautiful work there from Angel. Tui Leon trying to draw the cut onto VRDL. What was it you were saying last night? You were saying about the game last night, plenty of jammer penalties?
No, last night there was barely any jammer penalties.
It was last year.
It was in Vancouver, actually, in 2016, where Angel had kind of perfected drawing those penalties on VRDL. Of course, it's a little bit harder to draw a cut penalty on a jammer now because of the new cut rules, right? The jammer can yield, so it's not the same as kind of just having them tap one foot out. If they realize they tapped that foot out, they can yield, and they won't get the cut. So it becomes a little bit more difficult to repeatedly draw cuts like you used to be able to, but they've still been able to draw some of these penalties on the jammers, and they have had 3 power jams to the 1 power jam they gave up to VRDL.
Those were the days when you could just cut jammers out all the time. However, I personally think it does help keep the flow of the game going. Being able to yield, being able to correct yourself very quickly does allow the game to flow. And we don't always see those big 30, 40-point power jams anymore. We do see the much more gritty, hit it and quit it, 4 points here, 3 points there. Here's West jamming.
Jamming now for Angel, that is number 99, West, trying that kind of pop and push jamming style, as I like to call it.
I like it. Sarah Chambers at the back using her distinctive kind of legs going crazy, body staying still at the top. But look at that fantastic wall there from Angel City. Volcanic Smash doing the business once more, absolutely denying denying Sarah Chambers any movement on that scrum corner.
Something that's really interesting to watch from the VRDL jammers is that they are so hard to push out because their feet stay on the track. But when blockers go to push them out, and they often commit and push and push and push, they'll just kind of bend backwards over the line. So you're more likely to get them out with their hands than with their feet often.
It's because they're all made from rubber. Beautiful work there from Sarah Chambers, but such a nonchalant face on her. I love it. Absolute powerhouse of a blocker, scattering Angel City blockers all over the track, but Atomic Smash has got to have the last word again.
We're recycling back a little bit. We've still got West holding the jammer cap in her hand, trying to pass it off to Pivot. It looks like they were successful in that pass. So that's Rachel Rotten now holding the jammer cap that makes her the jammer.
So she has got Star in hand, but Star is not on head yet. And Sarah Chambers with the Star still on her head, never took it off, is at the back of the pack. And this scrum, let's just call that scrum corner now, is only just started to move up, but a second ago, no movement whatsoever.
So Rachel Rotten gets out of the pack just a little bit before Sarah Chambers, but Sarah Chambers, of course, is in control, so calls that off. Going to be 110 points total for Victorian, bringing it up to 107.43 for Angel. And it looks like we are going to pop off one more jam. I don't know. I'm very bad at the count up, count down math, but it looks like there's enough time.
Let's have another jam. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, I think we're going to make it. By 1 second, I think we're going to make it.
Well, everyone looks ready to go, so if they say now, we can't have it. Oh,
maybe I was wrong.
So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, frogs and hamsters, we will be going into the intermission. We see Victoria, VRDL, with 107 points. We see Angel City from America, 43 points. We've seen plenty of action on the track today, and we have plenty more action to come in 9 minutes' time. Grab yourself a beverage, stick some fresh pajamas on, and come back shortly. And it looks like we're back here once more at the Big O in Oregon, Eugene, USA, for the final game of this evening here on Track 1, a Victorian Roller Derby League, taking on Angel City Derby Hollywood Scarlets. I am here with the fantastic October.
And you're very cherry. You forgot to say who you were.
I wanted to talk about you first.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I'm Very Cherry, all the way over from England. And before we crack on with this game, I just want to say a quick hello to VRDL's commentator back at home in Australia. Chief in 10 has been letting me know that in Australia they are understanding some of the insane English sayings that I have been coming out with, even though my fantastic co-host here keeps looking at me like I'm from the planet Mars.
I mean, I understand the gist of what you're saying, but they're different idioms than the ones that I would be saying if I were saying idioms. The score coming back from the half is 107 for Victoria, 43 for Angel. It was a very close game, kind of opened up. And with the story of the game, in my opinion, it's penalties. So if you look at the penalty count overall, it's 9 for Victoria and 13 for Angel City. But it becomes a starker picture when you look at the blocker penalties, because 3 of those 9 for Victoria were power jams or jammer penalties. So they only had 6 blocker penalties in that whole 30 minutes of gameplay, whereas there were 12 blocker penalties, with only 1 power jam given up for Angel. So there was 12 minutes of the game. Well, sorry, 6 minutes of the game. No, that was. I just aged myself. My derby age. I think a penalty is 1 minute long. There were 6 minutes of the game where there wasn't all of Angel's blockers on the track. And if you've been watching this, you can see that Angel does much, much better. When all their blockers on the track, they can just completely stop the RDL jammers. We actually had a 1 minute and 57-second jam where the jam was 2 minutes, but for 1 minute and 57 seconds, there was no lead jammer because everybody was stopped. So if Angel wants to fix this and come back, they're going to need to keep their blockers on the track.
Yeah, it is, excuse me, it is not rocket science, not the skater, she's not playing right now. It's not rocket science. Get more players on the track and you can do more defense. You can even slip a bit of cheeky offense in as well.
It's going to be 2 for VRDL. There are 1 for Angel. That was Darby Dagger jamming up against Lady Trample, and just a 1 point add to their lead.
Yeah, Darby Dagger looking pretty pleased at the fact that she managed to chase Lady Trample around the track and even had a little hug at the end of it. And that, and I've said it so many times before, is one of the best things about our beautiful sport here, is the absolute sports personship that you will always see.
Jamming now, we have West up against Sarah Chambers.
2 jammers that we've seen about 1 million times today on the track, and what we've seen plenty of times, but I just can't get enough of it in my actual eyes, is this beautiful Victorian Roller Derby League tripod at the back of the pack.
It's interesting that it's a tripod that Victoria is using. They've decided to start using an offensive blocker. That's not something you see all the time from them, and it's worked. Sarah Chambers, the last 2 times she was on the track, really got held up by Angel's defense, but this time she was able to get out and get lead, while Angel's jammer is still stuck in that tripod.
Also another treat for our eyes is Atomic Smash. Sorry, Volcanic Smash. My apologies.
Different kind of smashing going on.
I know, I'm just so in awe of the smashing, I forgot about the other bits. Absolute fantastic blocking there, smacking jammers to the ground. But yes, you are correct. VRDL were favouring the 4 blocking cuboid, if you will, but seem to be now favouring the tripod with the spare person. Again, I'm desperate to say what we called it back at Central City Roller Derby, but I'm not going to, even though it's literally on my tongue. I can't do it.
Something we saw from VRDL yesterday that we're seeing today is, they've had a lot of lineup changes this year. People weren't sure what to see from them, and you've kind of seen them experimenting. You saw them yesterday. They did a jam where they started with 2 lineups on the track and then pulled 1 off. They're doing some things where they're starting up at the pivot line and then coming back at the last minute or trying to get better positioning. They're changing whether or not they're blocking with 4 or with 3, how the zone defense works. And it's been working for them so far, but it didn't work right there because Angel's gotten the lead for the first time in quite a while, and that is going to be
Ari Hell. Absolutely powerhousing their way through the pack. They're throwing Victoria skaters to the ground. Fantastic jamming and blocking and doing all the work for yourself there.
It's going to be a power jam for Angel City. They're going to freeze Anna Pavey over in the penalty box.
Wise move there from Angel. If they can now start the jam, they are 1 blocker down, so they're going to be able to start with a strong tripod and the jammer advantage.
Yes, it's going to be 3-on-3 in the pack.
Yes.
1 jammer.
So we have got Tui Leon, we've got Death Down Under, and we have got Rachel Rotten. I'm scared.
That's
I'm
a
scared.
pack.
I know, I'm scared just thinking about it.
Somebody was like, power pack. Anyway.
I mean, with these two teams, I think you could stick any of them out, and you were talking power lines, really.
Jammer is Darby Dagger.
But Darby Dagger was coming up against the one-woman powerhouse that is Lorraine Evans, back from her injury in the first half. Lovely to see her back on the track, but unfortunately she's come to sit right in front of us, along with Bisexual, in the penalty box.
It's going to give Angel a pack advantage, although the calling off the jump. 5 more points for them brings them up to 54, still 113 for Victoria.
But this second half, has only just started, so there is plenty of opportunity for Angel City to claw away and get a few more points and tighten up this score. I just did a tightening up motion with my head.
You're like tightening up the headphone thing.
Yeah, but no one can see it. But thanks for noticing.
I can see. I can see what you're doing.
Just don't know. So Lady Trample back on the jam line for VRDL, absolutely powerhousing her way through. She's got lead jam for I think she's on about 90% lead jams. Chewy Leon going for a sit down in the penalty box, which means Angel City's tripod is down to just 3, which is fine for a tripod, but you don't have that spare person, that spare mystery blocky person.
You're flex. I can bridge, I can be offense, I can be defense. I'm the flex person.
Oh, flexible Fred, I like it.
Initial pass completed by Angel City. That is Pearl Jam.
Lady Trample, they're literally just hip checking blockers like it's a warm-up drill.
This is going to be a power jam for VRDL. This is a back block for Angel. Pearl Jam's going to take a seat in the box with one of Angel's blockers. Everybody's on the track for VRDL.
But Lady Trample's had enough of that and goes through, turns it off. Stop watching the telly. Calls it off. And we get ready for another jam as we see a battle of the pivots now on the pivot line. Obviously, where else are they going to battle?
There's nothing quite like a pivot line start. I saw a juniors game yesterday where only one junior knew that if you put your toe step on the pivot line, everyone had to get behind their hips, and so everyone got a false start warning, and they were so confused. It was a delight.
Did you laugh?
I did laugh a little.
You're so mean.
I was like, that's not fair to those poor children.
Poor children, they know what they're doing. They've been taught by some of the best coaches in the land. I'm so heartless. That's why I'm not with child right now, because I'm mean.
Don't worry, I'll teach all my children that if they put their toe step on the pivot line, that everyone has to get behind their hips.
I will remind you of this in about 16 years' time.
Yeah. This is lead jammer going to Sarah Chambers.
She would know to put her toe stops down. She ain't going to be messing about. And mess about she does not. Fantastic work there from Sarah Chambers at the front of the pack, but she has a little tumble there in Tui Leon and Rachel Rott, and absolutely make the most of that by smacking her out. Sarah Chambers looking like she's in absolutely no rush to carry on with this jam. I don't blame her really, because VRDL do have the time and score advantage on their side. You take your time, love. Take your time.
I think that Angel's been doing a great job of neutralizing VRDL's jammers, and you'd say, yeah, but look, they're losing. Look at the score. Well, it's almost 60% of those points have been put up by Lady Trample. So while they've been able to shut down Anna Pavia-Over, who's been giving up quite a few of those jammer penalties, and Sarah Chambers, like we're seeing here, they haven't figured out how to stop Lady Trample. And because of the depth of the VRDL jammer pool, they can rely on one jammer to do their heavy lifting, and they have so far.
Sarah Chambers looking like she was having a little bit of injury trouble there, falling to the floor a couple of times, but she was lead jammer, so that means once more she can call off the jam. No impact onto her coming back onto the track, so she's having a sit down. Head coach for VRDL, Sassage Rolls, is checking in on it, which is lovely to see. It is great from our position because we can see all the bench action that's going on, we can see the penalty box. It's great, really great insight into what's going on. Every now and again, I've been sticking it on Instagram stories so I can reminisce about this lovely day. And we're going into a quick official timeout.
Score now is 135 for VRDL, 56 for Angel.
That's the end of the timeout, so it's time to crack on. We've got West jamming for Angel City. We've got number 35, Anaconda. Anaconda is your lead jammer as VRDL are getting that tripod set up once more. Look at that tripod at the back of the pack. They're forcing West to take off the jammer star. That's what you want to do, force jammers to not want to be jammers anymore. Mom, I don't want to do it.
Actually, you know, Angel tonight has been using the Star Pass quite a bit, and I think that's one of the reasons why they've been able to limit the amount of multi-passes VRDL has gotten. Now, obviously, VRDL has been doing quite a bit of that. They're outscoring Angel significantly, but when Angel has been able to get that helmet cover off, get that pivot into that position and force those call-offs, it's kept us from being a 100-point game.
Yeah, definitely. We have not seen very many jams where either team has scored more than, say, 6 or 7 points. We haven't seen 20, 30-point jams at all. But we might well see one now as Anna Anaconda's going for a sit-down as an active jammer for VRDL.
West's going to put that helmet cover back on.
Does a hand signal that looks like she's gone insane. What does it mean, Angel City? What did it mean?
It's about 35 seconds left in this jam.
Angel City seems to be letting VRDL speed the pack up a little bit here, which I am not expert. I would say it's probably not what they want to do, but very good awareness for Angel City, noticing that there was a goat. Everybody uses that expression at the back of the pack. So shut the goat down and let your jammer run free. Volcanic Smash there, getting a multiplayer block at the back of the pack, which leaves Angel City back down to 3 blockers as Anaconda is stuck and calls it up. I said and about 9 times and I do apologise for my lack of vocabulary.
We've got 2 players with 5 penalties on the Angel City side. That is number 255, Red Raven, and number 65, Volcanic Smash. So while Volcanic Smash is a very, very effective blocker who's fun to watch and has been very helpful, she's been picking up a few of those, about 5 penalties. And so that's could become an issue as we get into the back half of the second half.
Yeah, we've still got 19 minutes to go in this game, so that is quite a lot of time left. You don't want to be seeing blockers and jammers fouling out at this point. I mean, you don't really want them ever to foul out, but you kind of let them off when it gets to like 3 or 4 minutes to go and they've racked up their cheeky 7th.
Again, here you can see how hard it is to push those VRDL jammers out, and if you don't figure out a way to knock them out, you won't be able to come back. Yesterday, Denver had figured out if they did kind of like a multi-hit to the wall, so it was like one blocker would hit one of those VRDL jammers, then a second one would immediately hit, hit right behind. That was pushing them out, but otherwise, one hit isn't going to do it.
This is not a one-hit wonder kind of game, but it is now a power jam situation for VRDL as we have Anna Anaconda, the only active jammer on the track, because 1510 Derby Dagger is sitting down right in front of us.
You've got to appreciate the positions that the skating officials need to put themselves in to see inside the scrum.
Yeah, we have seen referees literally lying on the floor, lunging, doing some weird Matrix style moves. We've seen referees skating backwards. We've seen referees mohawking. And we've seen referees literally just stand there and go, yeah, you did bad, get out of town.
If only they had infrared glasses or X-ray and they could see inside the scrum what was going on. They can't.
So that is a perfect segue for me to read out the officials that are taking care of the game today. We have Tenacious D-Cub, Chemical Restraint, Kitty, Delighted Decider, Bowler Constrictor, Truck and Roll, Adam Smasher, Karma Such, Hannah. We have Umpire Strikes Back, Welnar Von Bombed, okay, Bruce Almighty, Ninja Sazum, Donna Scorleone, and Beverly Crusher, and Lauren Order. And they are your officials today.
And on the inside whiteboard, which isn't an inside whiteboard, you might notice, but is instead a monitor that I'm looking at right now, is Iceman. And the head referee of this game is Vernon Bonbons from Minnesota, like me.
Ah, do you know each other?
I do know Werner.
Oh, have you been out for car shares and stuff?
No, we did once drive to Des Moines, Iowa together to officiate a game. It was in Des Moines.
Okay, you say that like I'm going to know. Like, is that like a million miles away from each other?
No, it's just in Iowa. There's a lot of corn there. I like Iowa. Please, internet, don't get mad at me. Iowa's a wonderful place.
I thought
but there's a lot of corn there.
As in the band, because I thought that's where Slipknot are from.
I have no idea where Slipknot is from. That is not a thing that I know off the top of my head.
They're from Iowa. But you said corn. Doesn't matter. It's lost on you.
Oh, I get it. Corn with a K. Yeah, no, I'm talking about corn.
Corn with a K.
I'm talking about corn that grows in the ground.
I'm talking about corn as in like...
Yeah, like...
Follow the leader. I'm not going to sing for you guys.
No, I was going to do it too, and then I decided we're not going to sing.
I was like, yeah, this has been recorded, and no way do I ever want to hear me singing that for you.
Lead jammer right now is Lady Trample.
Save us, Lady Trample, from doing a corn karaoke.
Definitely the high scorer of this game. Like I said, about 55% of the points now.
And she does it with such grace as well.
She picked up 3 and called that off. Wasn't going to take a risk of giving up any points. And we're going to reset and start again. Lining up, that's Uri Hell up against Sarah Chambers.
Sarah Chambers with such a distinctive style to her jamming. As I said before, absolute calm, top of her body, but legs going like the clappers. Fantastic jamming style to look at. Big hits there from the Angel City Blockers. That is the much-loved Rachel Rotten, Tui Leon, and number 2, Joanna Tees as your tripod from hell. In the nicest possible way, Angel City. You know I love you guys. And lead jammer has been given to 126. That is Ari Hell for Angel City, a much-needed lead jammer for Angel.
That's the first time we've seen Angel take lead in quite a bit. I think about 5 jams.
But it does come at the cost of one of the blockers, Rachel Rotten, going for a sit-down now. Sarah Chambers coming back round. Big smile on her face as always.
2 points for Angel in that jam. Calling that on off. Part of me wonders if Angel had gone long.
Share it with us.
Yeah, I know. I had to stop and think. I'm like, part of me wonders, like, Sarah Chambers has been having trouble getting past a full pack of Angel, and they had one person in the box, but not all of them. And maybe taking the risk there and seeing if you can score some more points might have paid off. But then I say that now, but then she could have just blown right through the pack, and they would have given up a bunch more points and lost that chance at lead. But sometimes I wonder, what if I'm having roller derby like FOMO?
What for the jam that could have been?
Yeah, I'm backseat driving this jam because clearly I know more than these teams.
That's why they gave us microphones, because we are the roller derby wizards. And now with the star on her head, it is Tui Leon for Angel City. Everyone loves to see this lady going for it, but she has been denied thanks to that fantastic tripod of VRDL, which means Anaconda can get stuck behind the Angel tripod. Angel tripod, VRDL tripod, they're both tripods from hell. But which one is more hellish? We will only know when we see the opposing jammer coming around the track.
I'm seeing some interesting strategy this weekend trying to work against these braces. I've seen a lot of jammers getting a lot better at pressing on the connections and getting those multiplayers called. Oh, here we have a cut. This is going to be a power jam for Angel. This will be a 2-minute jam because Anaconda was lead at the time.
Yeah, so Angel City can really take some advantage here, really try and grab a few more points here. I do believe, where is the star?
Star's in the hand, the person with the pivot cap on, whose number I can't see.
Yeah, that's Tui Lion.
Yeah.
I thought she had the star on.
She probably pulled it off to stash it.
Oh, okay. I always forget that pivots can star stash as well. I feel like once you've been given it, you should keep it on. Stop confusing me with your tactics and moves.
No. Just watch the jam ref. Follow the jam ref's eyes. That's who's the jammer.
I don't know who they are either because I'm an idiot.
See the red band on Ninja's arm? That's going to be the jam ref.
Oh, every day's a school day. I'm only joking, of course, I know that bit.
9 points for VRDL in that jam. 0 for Angel. It's going to be 165 for Victoria, 63 for Angels. This is over 100 points difference. And remember, the last time these teams met was just a year ago, and it was only a 77-point game. So this is a much bigger differential than we're used to seeing.
But
from
as
these
you,
teams.
to interrupt you so abruptly then, but as you said a few minutes ago, VRDL have had a bit of a shake-up in their lineup, but seem to be working extremely well with it. Angel City have lost a couple of players recently. I know there's a few names that people are kind of sad about seeing. Lacey Knight, correct me if I'm wrong, definitely one of them. So, you know, Angel City are in that kind of transitioning phase where in a few months' time we might see them coming back a lot stronger. VRDL, I think, have transitioned to the phase where they are the cream of the crop. They've risen to the top.
Well, and you saw last night, Denver came a lot closer than you expected them to come to VRDL. And, you know, Angel today is playing without Lacey Knight and without Satan's Little Helper, and that's a different team for them and probably different play, and they're trying to get a feel to get around it. Denver did beat Angel the last time they met, and it seems like Denver's getting better. So it'll be interesting to see how that top 5 shakes up coming through this season into the postseason and as we move towards New Orleans.
What's happening in New Orleans?
The WFTDA championships, obviously.
Oh my God, I want to go so badly. If anyone wants to sponsor me, please. Roller derby has drained every cent of money, pennies, dollars, buttons that I had, and I would love to go. And I would love, to watch that again. Massive hit there from number 2, Juana Tees. Anna Pavey over, absolutely shrugging it off.
Anna Pavey over is so difficult to hit out of bounds. I said it yesterday, I'll say it today. She's really goals. You know, people wondered, how do you find
She's
new...
really goals.
She's goals. She's just
goals.
How do you find a jammer to take over and fill a position like Chrissy Demons has? Well, you find somebody that's impossible to push out of bounds, that is goals all on their own, that is fun to watch play, and that's Anna Pavey over. Had some penalty trouble in this game, not last night, so not unflappable, but fun
still
to
goals.
watch.
But still goals. So
Still
goals. I love it. I am feeling all the goals watching the VRDL blockers here. It's making me think. In my head, I'm doing like a training montage before I have to go back to practice on Thursday. Just like, come on, Jerry, you can do it. I can't. My coach is going, I don't think so, love. You're lineup managing.
This is Sarah Chambers jamming up against Ariel. Ariel's had a lot of success for Angel tonight, but is not heavy in the jammer rotation. Kind of that break it up jammer, but a successful one.
Yeah, sometimes you need a couple of jammers or maybe even one that you've got on your bench for when you need to shake some stuff up. I didn't say a naughty word then. Shake some stuff up. Some of the teams, especially high-level roller derby, they see who's coming on to jam and they switch their pack up, they switch their tactics, and not even high-level roller derby, lots of people do it. So if you can suddenly just shove out another jammer who can mix things up a bit, so maybe got a little bit of a different style, a little bit of rock when you're expecting roll, always helps put the cat amongst the pigeons. Is that a saying you have here?
No, but I like it. I like cat amongst the pigeons.
You can have it. Have it from me.
I got it. Thank you very much for your gift. Sarah Chambers jumping through the pack, but deciding, no, I'm not going to stand up on that one. That was a cut.
And now she
calls it off from the floor.
Just a few rolls across the floor.
Sarah Chambers is the jammer that is the most smiley when calling a jam off from the floor. Usually people are pretty angry when they're forced to call it off from the floor. But she's like, whoops, I'm on the ground. Call it off.
Sarah Chambers flirted with me once. Honest, it did happen.
Is that also on your bingo card? Yeah. Find person dressed like banana, be flirted with by Sarah Chambers.
Well, one of them's happened at the Barcelona World Cup. She won't remember it, but it meant everything to me.
Jamming now for Angel City. That is 1352 Black Lobster, and lead jammer for VRDL. That is number 117 Chop Chop, who we haven't seen jam yet tonight.
No, we have not. And I was thinking we haven't seen Black Lobster doing much jamming either today. So this is a bit of a surprise jam for both teams. But as we said earlier about teams putting out like the surprise jammer, does it work when you both put the surprise jammer out, or do you need a surprise jammer with a bread and butter jammer?
I think that VRDL might be doing a little bit of let's test the jamming lines because they have a good cushion here. They're probably already looking at positive ranking. They're not, not that they don't need to score more points. Everyone needs to score more points. Points are ranking points. Ranking points are cushion. Cushion is happiness.
Stop saying points. We get it.
I had a whole thing I was setting up. All right.
Sorry, carry on. I'll be quiet for a minute.
Timeout being called by Angel. They're gonna take a minute to try and regroup, maybe re-strategize, because at this point they are looking to lose a bunch of ranking points. This is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt significantly in the rankings, in the standings. So they need a minute to regroup, to come together. Score now 199-67.
Yeah, at the start of this game, I wasn't 100% sure where I thought the score would be. I have to say this was not the score I was expecting.
It definitely isn't for me either. Angel went to Tinseltown and they beat Texas and they beat Bay Area. And having beat Texas made me think like, okay, this is a strong Angel that can really be a contender up against VRDL. That's a strong team. Now, are they not playing as well as they normally play tonight? Are we seeing a team that just isn't gelling and just isn't pulling together in the way they want to? Or are we seeing a weaker Texas than we expected? I'm not sure. What's going on here? Did VRDL after last night really be able to pull themselves together and come back to that unstoppable force? Because yesterday I was saying, this is a strong VRDL. It's going to be a hard team to beat, but this is not the unstoppable force we saw last year. Tonight, I feel a little bit differently about that.
But I do not feel differently about the massive smile on the face of Lady Trample, absolutely tearing up the track now, giving Darby Dagger a run for her money. Oh, Lady Trample, big hit check there onto Psycho before calling it off. But it's big hugs and kisses all round, and that is what I love about roller derby.
Especially these teams at the top, they play each other quite a bit because, you take a risk with your rankings every time you play a team that's ranked too far below you. And so these top teams tend to play every year at least once, sometimes twice. They see each other at playoffs. They see each other at champs. They dread getting each other in the bracket pick. They love getting each other in the bracket pick.
Definitely.
They know each other very, very well. They train together. They put on clinics together.
I love how you call them clinics in America, because that makes me just think of like bad stuff. But not bad stuff is that beautiful smile on Sarah Chambers' face as she is lead jammer and absolutely bombing it around the track and making mincemeat of that Angel City defense that we were so praiseful for earlier. But Sarah Chambers, business on top, business at the bottom, pleasure on top. I don't know which way around it is, but you know what I'm talking about. She has got legs going like crazy, and the scoreboard is going like crazy too for VRDL from Australia.
Just an update on some penalty issues. There's 2 skaters from Angel City sitting on 6, and that's going to be Rachel Rotten and Volcanic Smash. So you might see them putting those 2 players in the lineup less, which doesn't bode great for Angel City's defense, as those are 2 players that are pivotal to that line of stopping everything.
Yeah, definitely. As we've said many times in this game, if I could pick maybe the 3 or 4 blockers from Angel City I do not want to come up against, those 2 are going to be my top 2. So, yeah, a little bit of trouble if they do need to start pulling them off, or if, of course, they do foul out of this game. We still have 6 minutes to go. As I said before, it is that kind of time where you do start to see a few of the more active in the penalty box blockers going out, taking their early bath. But we certainly don't want to see that. We want to see all the skaters on track digging in deep and showing us what high-level roller derby is all about here at the Big O in Eugene, Oregon, USA.
Yeah, this has really been a frustrating second half, I think, for Angel. They're really struggling. They haven't had a lead in a while, even when they've had these power jams, which we're about to see another one of a multiplayer block actually called on Anaconda, which is not a common penalty for.
No, jammers getting multiplier blocks is quite strange to see, but it does happen. Normally it's when there's quite a bit of maybe a bit of muddled offense or something like that, a bit of desperation.
Yeah, or a whip, if somebody pushes against the whip, but you don't see a ton
of
those
anymore. When did you
last
boss a whip out?
Sometimes you see them.
You see little sneaky ones. You don't see the ones you have to practice to do your minimum skills.
No, you don't.
You only do those once a year. They're to pass. I think we have had a start. No, we haven't. Yes, we have had a star pass for Angel Silly. Tui Leon with the start on her head. Absolutely giving it some with those shoulders of hers. Big offensive move coming in there from Psycho for Angel, but it is not enough as number 192. That's Sage King. Knocks Tui Leon to the inside, but Tui back up on her feet and back round again. But hey, VRDL, what's happening here? Are you all coming over to see us?
Going to be there was another penalty for Anaconda. It was a direction of play.
Were you looking at the penalties then and did not see the old school whip that just happened?
I was looking at the penalties and I did miss the old school whip. I did it. I made it happen. I missed it, but I made it happen.
What other talents have you got?
I mean, I'm an announcer. Anytime I say something, it just happens on the track, right? I've heard that's how this goes.
Yeah, but every time I wish Trent Reznor to turn up, it doesn't happen. So I don't know why the announcer trick isn't working.
Well, so not only do we have an old school whip, but now we're looking at another pivot line start.
Have we gone back in time?
Wait a second. Is it 2010?
Oh my God, where am I?
No, they're skating backwards. Definitely
we're
now.
All good, yeah. There's a tripod happening. You didn't have those 5 years ago.
People can skate backwards. No, it is definitely not 5 years ago. That is Darby Dagger pushing up against that VRDL tripod in the front, working hard to try and get lead for Angel, which they haven't seen in quite a bit. There it is. Lead goes to Angel. Let's see if Angel decides to run this long or pick up points and call it off. I'm not sure what they're going to do.
There is only 3 and a little bit of time left in this game. So I personally think Angel are going to try and grab as many points as they can while they've got the slight advantage. The advantage being, of course, that they are lead jammer. VRDL now, we saw Anaconda with the star in our hand. I thought we were going to get maybe the only second star pass of the game for VRDL, but denied.
Looks like they're going to have her run it. I think that Angel's not a team that's in the position to have to run the game long. And you say, well, why would you run the game long? Why wouldn't you try and keep it from scoring any points at all? Well, you want to increase the point amount because you're looking to preserve ranking points if you can, or stem the bleeding in rankings if you can. It's going to be 4 points for Darby Dagger.
So once more, we are literally just sat in awe here, watching the beautiful goals. Goals are happening right now, aren't they?
They definitely are.
Just goals.
Just goals.
Just goals.
If you're a blocker, you should be watching this game.
If you're a blocker, you should now be like doing mountain climbers and running up a hill or something and doing a montage in your head. I would get so high-pitched. I was so excited then. In my head, I'm literally training.
It's going to be 13 points for Angel, bringing them up to 88. 8, though, on the board for Victoria, going to bring them to 222. There's a fold in the curtain. It looked like a 1, but it's a 2.
When you say curtain, let's just point out that the curtain is the scoreboard. Otherwise, it sounds like we've not been allowed in the building. Like we're behind a curtain sneaking in. We didn't buy a stream pass. We're just looking in.
We're just peeking.
I think we have had a foul out. Rachel Rotten is going the wrong way around the track, as in out of the doors. Not surprising, to be honest, looking at the penalty board that we have here, the old school whiteboard, which is actually a laptop.
Yes, it's a laptop. There's no longer is it actually a whiteboard, but that's what we call it. 5 points on the board for Lady Trample.
Yeah, we definitely haven't gone back in time because people didn't Apex jump like that 3 years ago, let alone 5 years ago.
We've only got 1 minute left in this period.
And when the game finishes, I'm going to run you through some of the fixtures that we've got tomorrow for our final day at the Big O here in Eugene, Oregon, US of A. I have to keep reminding myself where I am because I've got no clue. I'll probably start trying to spend euros.
Oh, no, don't try to spend euros here. People won't even know what they are.
We are seeing Psycho give it some to Lady Trample at the back of the pack. But Lady Trample using those trademark white skates, absolutely killing it at the front of the track. Doing a dance there with number 2, Do You Wanna Tease? Do you want to tease Lady Trample? Well, you can try, but it ain't going to work, sweetheart. I got a bit excited then. Do You Wanna Tease gets a penalty for that. Was it a penalty for giving Lady Trample some sats? Yes, I think it was.
It's going to be 5 more points up on the board for Lady Trample.
Oh, no, Angel City, you've got to give them the credit here. They have set their tripod up right on the line so that Lady Trample couldn't apex jump, but she says, do you know what, I'll just take the other way around. This girl can go either way.
That's it. That's going to be our official. Oh, wait. Not quite sure. The period clock says 0, but we don't have the official final.
The crowd in here say the game's done because they're all at the side of the crowd. They want to give their roller derby heroes a high five.
So Lady Trample's going to finish out that game with a 25-point jam. Remember, she scored something like 60% of the points for VRDL tonight, and that was not the case last night. So you can see that VRDL has been able to preserve their deep jammer bench score. Unofficial final score is 247 for VRDL and 88 for Angel City. I think it's a surprising score. I don't think anyone expected we'd see quite this kind of blowout, especially after we saw Denver last night come much closer to VRDL than this. Yeah, I don't know if Angel City is going to take a plummet in the rankings after this. I think who do they play tomorrow?
So let me give you a quick update on some of the highlights that we've got tomorrow here on track 1. At the Big O, we have got at 10 o'clock Bear versus Jet. We have got Victorian taking on arch rival. Damn. We have got Angel taking on Denver. We've got Bridgetown taking on Denver. And then to finish up the day, we have got our 2 MVP bouts. That is the juniors, and then it is the grown-ups, or the big kids as I like to call them. And now in a second, we are going to hand over to our interview at the side of the track. We see one of our fantastic announcers getting ready to go, and they are with the one and only Lady Trample, your #1 point scorer, I do believe, in that game. And before we wrap over to them, let me remind you that you can also see the likes of Terminal City versus Calgary tomorrow. You can also see Vancouver versus Texas, and you'll be able to see St. Louis versus Houston. But now I'm going to pass you over to Lady Trample.
Sorry about that. The Armageddon here with Lady Trample from the Victorian Roller Derby League over Angel City. And Trample, congratulations on the game. Talk about what went into going into this game, your mindset, the team's mindset, playing a team like Angel City.
We had a really hard game against Denver yesterday. Jet lag is it's a hard thing to come through, but also Denver really brought it, and we really had to come back together, figure out what we knew about our plays, and play our game. And so we came out there and we just said, look, you know what? We have a lot of oxytocin in the team. We love and trust each other, and we just wanted to do what we went out there to do, which I think we did.
A lot of changes this year in the VRDL lineup from last year. Talk about how those changes, how you've adapted from those changes to come in and defend the Hydra this year.
So we have quite a few rookie jammers that are coming out playing their first high-level games, and we have an amazing bench staff that do like stats and recon on all the teams, and so we really did our best to set them up to have as much success as possible, put them in plays where they felt trusted and backed, and really just helped them shine. And it was the same with our blockers. When you're vetting new skaters, and they did the same for us as well, everyone's a vet at some point, a noob at some point. And it's really important that the veterans on the team actually help you grow and build up and give you opportunities to find success so that you can eventually find the flow and support someone else in that same situation.
Talk about your Big O 2018 so far, 2 really big games so far in 2 days. Talk about just the gameplay and the atmosphere here. A very big tournament, 2 very big games to open it all up.
Yeah, going in and playing such hard, fierce teams right off the bat was a huge thing for us. I mean, we've got 2 amazing teams that we're playing against tomorrow, but we really just came straight into it. Like, boom, into Denver, that really gave us a run for our money and like had to force us to work and put us in challenging situations where we had to innovate and also just come back together. So I think today we did a really good job of just playing our game, and we're going to try and do the same thing tomorrow against Arch in Montreal.
Congratulations once again on the win. We'll see you tomorrow. And we're going to wrap it up here from Track 1, Big O 2018.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, okay. See you tomorrow.